Saying that we're live. Shalom. I'm gonna start out by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. We're out here in Natchez, Mississippi, at the Devil's Punch Bowl, and as you can see, we're looking down into the area where they were putting the Jakes that were being freed, from so-called slavery back in the around 1864, 1865, around that time frame, when the so-called, just around the time of the so-called Emancipation Proclamation. And what we found out too, brothers, got some articles, is that Jake pretty much was being, they were being directed to this area, with the promise of having the U.S. What is it? The U.S. What was it? The Union U.S. The Union, with the promise of the Union helping Jake to get up north to get jobs and all that, and the Union Army. And what was happening is they were pretty much driving them here, and they were driving them here with the promise of helping them out, right, to help them to get up north. But what happened was that's not what was happening. They pretty much had built some walls out here and locked everything up, and didn't allow them to leave. And what they were doing is taking the men, and putting them back into hardcore, pretty much hardcore slavery, hardcore labor. And the women and children, they were leaving them pretty much to starve. And there were a lot of cries from these Israelites to let them just go back to the plantation, because shit was so nasty here that they wanted just to go back they wanted to basically go back in slavery, because it was better at the plantation than it was here. And this shows you that these devils, they ain't no damn good. And like the scriptures say, that their mouth is smoother than butter, their words are smoother than butter, but in their heart they have war, and this is a shameful thing that happened here. Matter of fact, before we got here, the brother Yashimai had asked this devil, where's the Devil's Punch Bowl, and he just got all messed up, and he was trying to explain how to get here, but he was so fucked up. It was just like, this is a shameful history of America that's been covered up and trying to be covered up. And if you look, there's no markings, there's no monuments here stating that this is the place where all this stuff happened. They were just trying to hope that it got buried, buried away. So the only thing that we got was that it was a cemetery across the street from the place. And I remember these Jakes came out here, this Israelite group came out here. They did a little something out here. I'm not sure. I only watched a little bit of it. I'm not sure how deep they went into it, but this is like a shameful history of America that they don't want to come out. Right. So we're here on location, and Lord's will, we're going to bring some edification, scriptures, some documents and stuff to go into it, to show you how much of a devil Esau is, right. So, we could put on our garments and right. And I'm going to pull the camera back. I just wanted to give a little shot of the actual place. And Lord's will, I can give some more. And how's the stream?
It's looking good out.
It was good. All right. And if you brothers out there, if you could let us know if the stream is pretty good, we appreciate it. And you got an article, you said?
Kind of, yeah. I got
something. Cool.
I got a quick one, short one.
All right. So we got a couple of articles. We're gonna grab some scriptures, and then take it from there. All right, so let's who got the first article?
I can go ahead. Get mine.
All right, quick. So let's get in front of the camera. Let's get in front of the camera and make sure. I just want to make sure. Okay, I got to pull it up some more. Just bear with us, cause. Yeah, if the video is jacked up, that's all right. As long as the audio is good.
Yeah, it looks good.
All right.
That's good, yeah.
So let's go ahead and get up there and let's get to it.
Well, bro.
Let's
Kanye,
get to
you
it.
can possibly get in the middle.
All right, so go ahead. Hopefully these pants don't. All right, cool. So did the brother say it was good?
Yeah, let's scoot over a little bit.
Yeah, scoot over this way a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, the anthill there. All right, just bear with us, brothers. You know. So
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right,
We
so
got- All right, I got the article.
that's a big ass ant right there.
All right, I have an article here. It's on the freethoughtproject.com. And the name of the article is Devil's Punch Bowl, an American concentration camp so horrific it was erased from history.
Yep.
And it says, say the words concentration camps and most will surmise the topic surrounds World War II and the Nazis. But the hard labor and constant threat of death and barbarism these microcosmic hells presented weren't unique to Adolf Hitler. In just 1 year, around 20,000 freed slaves perished in the Devil's Punch Bowl in Natchez, Mississippi, USA.
And then you got to remember that that's just an estimation. You know, a lot of the stuff that we know about slavery and how the North American Indians were slaughtered in this land, how, you know, the Taino, Boricua, the Inca, Mayan, and all them different Gadites and different Israelite groups were slaughtered. There's only an estimation of what they really, how many they really killed. You know, because we don't know for sure, because they only giving you an estimation. You know, there's no telling how many millions of Israelites they killed on this side of the world. You know? Go ahead.
After the Civil War, a massive exodus of former slaves from southern plantations trekked northward in hopes of reaching a location of true freedom. But embittered soldiers, resentful the people considered property, were now free and had other plans.
Yep. They just show you how the devil is. You know, they got mad because their property was freed, you know? And then they were heading up north, which really they weren't free. They were just being emancipated, meaning transferred from one ownership to the other. So the plantation owners in the south and the Edomites in the south were losing control over their property, over their slaves, over their money, you know? Because they weren't going to get up in there and do it themselves. You know, they weren't gonna get up in there and do it themselves. So what they did was they just, instead of letting Jake just go, they actually put more hell on him. You know, they didn't show him no mercy, as the scriptures say.
One tiny town's population mushroomed 12-fold from the influx, as researcher Paula Westbrook, who has intensively studied Devil's Punch Bowl, noted. When the slaves were released from the plantations during the occupation, they overran Natchez, and the population went from about 10,000 to 120,000 overnight.
Yep, and they were being redirected over here. And the reason why they were being redirected over here, as the brother was bringing out, was pretty much pretty much they had the plans of putting them in slavery and pretty much letting them die off. You know, so they rather kill the slaves off by a slow death than to actually allow them to go free. You know, so to speak.
Yep, made them suffer.
Yep. I got one quick precept. Is Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth with my people, and I have spoiled my inheritance.
And the reason, the way Yahweh Shema Shai did that through the process of slavery, man.
Right.
And the reason why he was wroth with us, why? Because we offended him by breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, we polluted our homeland, man, the same way the heathen nations did before we got there.
Right. It says, and given them into thine hand.
Right. Whose hand? Who are we oppressed by? The Edomites, man.
Yep.
You know?
It says, thou didst show them no mercy.
Right. And looking at the Devil's Punch Bowl, man, we received no mercy at all, man. You know, and that's why our people have to realize, man, that basically Esau is the opposition, man. It's set up within the spirit for us to be each other's foes, man.
Right, because she actually had Jake in that Union Army, man. But do you know about this history, man? You know, because you had Jake that still represent that Union Army to this day, man. Do you know that your Union, your fellow Union soldier, Edomite soldier, is actually doing this to your brothers down here in Mississippi, man? Recapturing them and slaughtering them out, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It says, upon the ancient has thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Okay, even so, the elderly men of our nation, man, basically they didn't even get no leeway, man. They had a total heavy burden to tow as well, man.
Yep. Because the people that died in the Devil's Punch Bowl, which is right behind us, you know, there were old men, old women, young babies, little children, pregnant women. Okay? All right, so this devil, he's completely unmerciful, man. And this is a shameful spewing. This is ugly history. That's why, the title of the article, it says, Devil's Punch Bowl, an American concentration camp so horrific, it was erased from history.
Yeah. And you know what that reminds me of? That movie, the Centurion, where that particular group of men that fought, when they got slaughtered by Japhet, by the dark-skinned Japhites, what happened was they went and they pretty much all of them were dead except for one, which was one of the main guys. And what they did is we're gonna strike this legion from the records, from the Roman records, because it was shameful what happened to them. Well, this stuff here, what happened here is a shameful part of American history. And if you come here, you ain't even gonna know where it is. The only reason we found it was through the Spirit, and then the devil himself guided us over here to the cemetery, but he really didn't want to say, even though he was acting like he was being cool. But I remember seeing that Jake's actually here, and then when we saw it from across the street, I said, "Yep, that's it right there."
Yep. That's the Spirit.
Go ahead.
You got it out.
Hey, this is Habakkuk 2:16. It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory."
Right, shameful spewing shall be on thy glory, meaning that the stuff that you've done is going to come back to haunt you, and the Lord is using us to bring out this information. The Lord is using other people to bring out this information, to bring it out to the forefront, because they've been trying to cover it. This has been covered up for a long time. This happened back in the mid 1800s, and for a long time this was a mystery, but now it's being made open because it's the Lord is causing you to take account for everything that you've done, and eventually in process of time you're gonna pay. You got to pay for all of this. All these thousands of people, thousands of Israelites that died here, you got to pay for that, man. You got to be held accountable for that.
The definition of spew. This is from dictionary.com. It states spew is defined as to send out or force out in large amounts. Basically to vomit or otherwise cast out through the mouth.
Yeah, so what's happening is the Lord is causing his words and the things that you've done to come out, and it's being spewed out. It's like being vomited out, all this shameful history. You tried to hide it, but what happened? The Lord caused it to be vomited up. And now it's out in the open.
Okay. If I could just paint a scenario, when you have a hangover, when you sick, the next morning you're throwing up, it's just gushing out.
Yep.
And hey, this is the end time, and so hey, all that dirt you've done is being uncovered via the prophets, man.
That's right.
This is on Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defiles the land.
Right, because blood is the life. That's the life force. That's what the Lord said, don't eat it, because the life is in the blood. Go ahead. Excuse me.
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shedded it.
Right, and this Esau, the so-called white man, has not paid for any of this. All the different nations that have been done wrong to, they've been paid reparations somehow or another. But the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Native American Indians, the so-called Latinos, they haven't been given reparations for the things that have happened to us, to our forefathers. You know, so now the Lord is going to bring the destruction and the judgment upon this place to judge them entirely as a nation for the things that they've done upon us. You know?
Yeah, man. And to add something, this land is cursed.
Yep.
You know, all of North America is cursed.
That's right.
And this location that we're at, hey man, the Devil's Punch Bowl is like a real thick forest.
Yep.
You can't even get through it, man. And then when we pulled up, you know, when we were setting up the camera and everything, ants were all over our shoes.
Yep.
You know, there's all types of wasps out here and everything. You know, and even the different news media that came out here, they were saying how you know, it's hard to get through here, man. And the people that stay around here, they said how there's different peach trees, but no one eats the fruit. You know, no one eats the peaches because people know what the fertilizer was. The fertilizer were you so-called Negroes. All right, you know, it's all types of alligators and poisonous snakes around here. You know, but I got this quick scripture. All right, this is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 5 to 6. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Right, because Esau is the abomination of the earth. Go ahead.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
Yeah, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. So the Apostle John saw all the killings that these devils are doing against the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
And with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua.
And with the bloods of the martyrs of Yahushua, because a lot of people died here. But you know what? Not just that. All over America, everywhere you go, there's history, rich history, and shameful history that had taken place. So you know, when you come out here, you kind of feel that uneasy feeling, because you got to remember, Jake was coming here for liberation, and they pretty much marched all the way to what? To a concentration camp where they were going to meet their death. You know, and that's the same thing that's going to happen in these times, because Jake trusts in the government so much. When all hell breaks loose, they're going to say, look, come to your FEMA camp, or come to this place, come to that place. And what's going to happen? That's where you're going to be put in another concentration camp. You know? So it's just history going to repeat itself from what happened in the past. What happened during the Greek Empire, what happened during the Roman Empire. Yeah.
All right, the brother has a definition.
Yeah, this is the word drunken in the Greek. So I saw they were drunken with the blood of the saints.
Yeah, man. So there's a lot of history and a lot of bad vibes that are taking place out here against Esau, man. And the Lord is doing this, man, revealing this devil.
The Greek word there is I think it's Methuel, but it means metaphorically one who has shed blood or murdered profusely.
One who has shed blood or murdered profusely. I got something real quick before you read on. Habakkuk 2:9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. It says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth the town with blood.
So like, Apostle, I say something. That's why America's going to be destroyed. Because of all this blood that's been shed here. The brother read in Numbers, the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Right.
So these Edomites' blood have to be shed. You know, that's why that destruction is for the third part of men, which are the sons of the wicked. You Edomites, man, you got to go, you know?
Right, and for the precept, it says, beam out of the timber shall answer it. You have 9 and 10, it says, peace or fastening. Number 10, witness against it. It says, woe to him that buildeth the town with blood and establishes the city by iniquity. You know, so destruction unto you. You know, because this whole America was established by blood. You know, them buildings that you see built up in the different cities, there were a lot of people that died, you know, especially a lot of Israelites that died building those things. You know, and then you know this shameful history and everything else, man. So the Lord, this place got a rude, disastrous, heavy destruction coming to it, man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why the Spirit got beginning with Apostle Tara pushing hard to keep making these videos, because this is witnessing against these devils more and more every day. You know.
Yep. You got the book Without Sanctuary, which it was actually an exhibit, and they made like a documentary out of it, showing you all the different lynchings and burnings of so-called Negroes. They even showed how you have confusion of face. You have so-called Irish, and I want to say so-called Italian, you know, because y'all Israelites too. You know, hey man, you so-called Irish, you were getting lynched. Even you so-called Mexicans, y'all got lynched. But you know, when you look at that book Without Sanctuary, they showed what happened to you so-called Negroes, and hey, it was heavy, man. You know, that's why who was that one woman that made that song, How Strange Fruit?
Oh, Billie Holiday.
That one song by Billie Holiday, you know, Strange Fruit, you know, hanging from the poplar trees.
Yep.
You know, you were that strange fruit. You got
that fruit wasn't growing on them trees.
Yep.
You know.
I got that word profusely when they say one who murder or kill profusely. That word profusely means it say spending or giving freely and in large amount, often to excess, extravagant.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you got it right.
Then it say made or done freely and abundantly.
Yeah, because this was of their own accord. They brought Jake here because they didn't want to let Jake go. They brought Jake here and pretty much built a large concentration camp where they let the majority of them perish by famine, starvation. You know, and the rest of the men that had just came out of slavery, they put them in the hardcore labor to work. You know.
Yep.
That's it on it.
And the brother Abaya, he made a good observation, you know, showing that we're the Israelites. You know, the nations, they never like to see us multiply. Just like going back to the time of ancient Egypt, you know, the Egyptians, they would say, this children of Israel, they are more and mightier than we, you know, because we were overpopulating them, man, you know, and they were looking like, man, these people can take us over. So let's get them before they get us, before they join to our enemies and take us down. So they put us in captivity. That's what happened here. You know, Esau, you know, he put us in captivity, and the rest of us, he put in this internment camp, you know.
Precept elder, Exodus 1:12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
That's right.
That's it.
I got something real quick. Exodus 21:16. It says, "And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death."
That's Esau, man.
Yep.
Basically, he stole us, man. And at this time frame, we are still found in his hand,
Still in
man.
his hand.
Yeah. And this was supposed to, and this time in the 1800s, it was supposed to be the so-called deliverance or the so-called freeing of the slaves, you know, which that word Emancipation Proclamation is a play on words. It doesn't mean to free, but the point is that the consensus was that they were supposed to be free. And what happened? They came here with the confidence that they were going to receive a safe passage up north to receive jobs so that they can finally live a better life, so to speak. And what happened? They came to hell, and this is actually hell. What they went through is actually hell.
And this is Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred,
Yep.
and has shed the blood of the children of Israel
By the force of the sword.
by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Right. In the time that their iniquity had an end. You know, in other words, that they were supposed to be freed up. That you didn't free them up. You just put more hell on them.
Apostle, can I make
Yeah.
a point? Hey, basically, where we at now, the Devil's Punch Bowl. Because basically, when they came down here, they thought they was going to receive freedom, and what happened? They had open arms to a concentration camp, man.
Yeah. And if you look at it, it's a pit. Like some places in the scripture speaks about a pit. That's hell. This is an actual pit that they were put in.
Pit, man.
You know, and we don't know exactly where it started and where it ended, but we know we're in the vicinity. You know, because some say that it's so thick you don't know exactly where it was at. You know, and they tried to cover this up. I'm surprised these devils ain't bring dirt and try to, you know, put it in here to cover all this up and just build something else on top of it.
The brother got something for you.
Bring it out.
The title is Never Forget the Devil's Punch Bowl. 20,000 freed slaves died after being forced into post-slavery concentration camps. And I'm gonna read them.
Post-slavery concentration camp, after slavery.
Come.
So they went from slavery hell to more hell, you know?
They say in order to deal with the population influx of recently freed slaves, a concentration camp was established to essentially eradicate the slaves. Camp was established.
And that's what it was.
Come.
It was an eradication. It was a genocide. It wasn't no, you know, okay, well, we're going to keep them here so they can work for us. No, it was an extermination. Yeah? And that's why you devils are going to be exterminated. That's why my man, that professor with the dreadlocks, the gray dreadlocks, he said the only solution that I found, because he really, you could see it that he was sincere in what he said. He said he tried to find a solution to this situation of this plague or this pestilence of the earth. He said the only solution he could come with is to exterminate all so-called white people.
in the spirit.
Yeah, because that's the truth. But what he didn't understand was they had to suffer slavery for 1,000 years to pay back what they did before they could actually be burnt up.
The men were recaptured by the Union troops and forced back into hard labor. The women and children were locked behind the concrete walls of the camps and left to die from starvation. Many also died from the smallpox disease. In total, over 20,000 freed slaves were killed in 1 year.
That's 1 year. And they don't even say how many more were killed after that. You know, so there were actual concrete walls built here to where they couldn't get out. And if you look at this is hard to come up, you know, up these hills. And you know, the Confederate, I mean what is it? The Union soldiers being up here, if you coming up, they gonna pick you off.
Yeah, shoot you.
You know?
And then you know they had to put that smallpox on the people, man, because that was one of Esau's main weapon he used to take down the Northern Kingdom when he got to the Americas, man.
That's right. Biochemicals. You know? And that's what these devils do, man. That's what do you think the CDC is all about? Why the hell are they keeping strains of the Spanish flu and influenza and all them different diseases, Ebola and all that? Because they plan on using that.
I say researchers studying the existence of the concentration camp said the Union Army did not allow them to remove the bodies from the camps. They just gave them shovels and said bury them where they dropped. The camp was called the Devil's Punch Bowl because of the way the area is shaped. And this going to the, go ahead, Apostle.
No, you got it, bro.
This going to where you say it's like a pit. They say the camp was located at the bottom of a cavernous pit with trees located on the bluffs above.
That's how we know we in the exact location.
I just showed you before. Matter of fact, I'll show you again. I'm gonna go right there. Watch your back there. As you can see, you know, it's a big ass pit, and if you look down right here in the front, you can see how steep it is, and you can see what all the different trees out there. So this whole area right here was where they had Jake at, and they wouldn't let him out. You know, you got it, bro.
The last paragraph right here. It said, today the bluffs are known for the wild peach groves because the locals will not eat any of the fruit because some are aware of what has fertilized the trees. It said one researcher has noted that skeletal remains still wash up when the area becomes flooded by the Mississippi River.
Yeah, and hey, don't they like, in the South, don't they like peach cobbler pie? How come they don't go down there to pick them? I'm sure the fruits are sweet, right? How come they don't go pick it? You goddamn devils.
Then another proof this is the spot. That's the Mississippi River right behind us, man. You know? Even when America tries to bury its racist ways, we must force America to acknowledge what has occurred and not shy away from the truth.
Yeah, because you know something, you devils, you like to point out what we do to each other. You like to, pretty much exhibit to the public black on black crime or black on Hispanic crime and stuff like that.
Selling drugs in the neighborhood.
But look at what you did, you know? And even today it's something called systematic racism. So nothing has ever changed with you devils. What about this history, man? Because this doesn't come up because what you did is far worse, man.
Yeah, and you take over continents. You
Yep.
trying to take over the world. You know, you don't take over like Jake take over a block. I got
Yeah.
3 blocks.
Yeah, neighborhood.
And they think that they really accomplished something. Like even General Smedley Butler said about Al Capone, he said he could teach him a thing or two about taking over. You know, he said he took over a few boroughs or whatever, a few cities or whatever. This man took over continents. So this devil pretty much took over the world.
Covered fields.
You know?
Yeah. Hey, and also Yahweh Shem Al-Shah's making you a knowledge because the skeletons keeps coming up on the shore, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's another way of shameful spewing, man, on this country, man.
Yeah, washing up on the
Washing up on washing up on land, man.
reminding you of what you
Yeah,
did.
what does it say for shameful spewing?
Yeah, you're not getting away with this, man. That's why it's all coming out now, and this proves that we're in the exact end. You know that Christianity is getting debunked from every corner. All right, hey man, you devils, hey, you gonna pay for this, man, and you going to slavery next.
Just the last sentence right here. I want to say, let's never forget all the free slaves that died in American concentration camps at the Devil's Punch Bowl. Right, man. So our people want to forget, man, but the Lord ain't gonna let you forget, man. You know, he gonna keep bringing up historical facts. He gonna bring up like this historical right here,
And
man.
it's just one thing you did.
Right, like the skeletons keep washing up to the shore. You can't run from that history,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Or the reason why the peaches are so big and
And fertile.
and fertile, man, because of how they grown, man.
Yeah.
The bodies was utilized to fertilize them, man.
Yep.
You know, I got a quick one. You got something else?
Well, I got some more on this article, but you can get what you got.
Okay, hey, this is Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Yeah, even to this very day, you don't hold yourself guilty. Or that wasn't us, that was our forefathers. But guess what? You are your forefathers back in the reincarnation. And you out here, you really hit back here to serve out your judgment. You know? Because you so-called Americans, you so-called white people, you Edomites that are here on the shores of America, you're going to be burned by these nuclear missiles. That's going to be your first judgment. And after that, when you come back through the elites, you're going to be slaves.
All right.
You know?
Can I say something, Apostle?
And that's how you're going to pay for everything that you've done double.
All right. Yeah, because the devil that led us up here, that gave us directions,
Yeah.
basically, hey, he you know, you devils, you have a double tongue. He said that he never been here, but he said it's by the cemetery.
Right. He's lived here all his life.
Yeah, but he's never been here. But he knew where it was though.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And the Spirit made him tell us. Because he didn't really want to tell. But he said, I don't know, it's over there. I don't know exactly where it is, but it's over there across the street from. No, he said he's over there. It's over there by the cemetery. He didn't even say across the street. You know?
And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Yeah, you got rich off of slave labor.
Right.
You know, and you Edomites that are on the earth today, you're reaping the benefits of slavery. Okay, you know that's why you know it's something called basically a head start in this society. You know, I mean, Jacob worked hard to basically get where you're at, but they'll never get there because you know pretty much you devils were already set up. You know.
Yeah, you're only going to let Jake get so far.
Yep.
Because you don't want them to take, because you know some of you, well, not you low-level Joe Six-Pack crackers, but the higher-ups in this society, they know about their history, how Jake ruled Europe for a period of 1,000 years. And you know that how they got up in there. During the time of the Roman Empire, you had certain Jakes getting up into emperor positions, you know, and eventually you were taken down. And you were locked up for about a period of 1,000 years until the Lord caused you to come back up out of that prison that you were in. And then what's the first thing you did? You deceived the whole world into believing that you're the Most High, that you're the Son of the Most High, that you're the Israelites, that you're the angels and all of that. All the great men of history, that was you. But then when you look back at your history, what you've accomplished within the last 500 years, it's nothing but rape, robbery, murder, you know, theft, the stealing of continents, the stealing of the world, the stealing of people's resources, you know, causing certain of your own to go in there and act like they're a part of that nation and do something so that you can wage war on this nation. You know, through what they call false flags.
Started uprising.
Yeah, so you devils, man, you devils ain't shit, man. And the Most High is bringing all this stuff out on you, and you're gonna have to pay for this, man.
Back in the article, all right, I'm gonna finish it off, okay? And it says, when the slaves were released from the plantations during the occupation, they overran Natchez, and the population went from about 10,000 to 120,000 overnight.
Yep.
Unable to grapple with an instant population swell, the city turned to Union troops, still lingering after the war, to devise a merciless, impenitent solution. So they decided to build an encampment for them at Devil's Punch Bowl.
Yeah, and this is worse than the penitentiary. At least in the penitentiary, you're getting 3 hots in a cot, man. Here, they wasn't getting nothing but death, okay? And hardcore labor, okay?
Which they walled off.
They walled it off, and they heard the screams of these women and children and whoever else was in there, that to let them go and go back to they'll go back to the plantation. That went on deaf ears. But the Most High Himself heard all of that. You know, that was a punishment for Israel for doing the things that they did. Yeah. But really, that's also a shameful spewing on you Edomites, you so-called white people, because that same thing witnessed against you. You know. Go ahead.
Which they walled off and wouldn't let them out.
That's right.
Former director of the Natchez City Cemetery, Don Estes, or Estes, explained. That's his name. Estes.
Yep.
Devil's Punch Bowl is so named for a cavernous, bowl-shaped gulch walled off by tree-topped cliffs. Right. An area unintentionally made perfect for a hellish prison by nature herself.
Yeah, you know, and that's what they did. They walled off the Jakes in here, and they let them to starve to death, man. That's a hard death, man. Oh. You know, when they were screaming to let them go, they should have let them go. You know, so that they were willing to go back to the plantation and put themselves back in slavery, but the devil has no mercy. Matter of fact, if I could read this real quick, this is James 2:13. For he shall have judgment without mercy that showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. So you devils are going to receive no mercy, you know, because you took the law, statutes, and commandments of the nation of Israel and you used it against them. You know, you made them believe that they were the inferior or that they were the slaves and you were the master. And at that time you were. But now the truth is coming out. And that's why all this history is coming out. I mean, this is just one small, even though it was a great, horrific thing that happened, this is just one small example of the wickedness that you've done just on this land alone, man. You know, not going into the Native American Indians, not going into the so-called Latinos and the things that you've done to them, man. You got it, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 26. I'm going to start at verse 28. It says, we have been with child. We have been in pain.
Yep.
We have, as it were, brought forth wind.
Yep.
We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth.
Yeah, so pretty much we didn't receive any deliverance. Matter of fact, when you go to Jeremiah the 15th chapter, it says, who shall bemoan thee? Who's going to feel sorry for you? Who felt sorry for the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, the so-called Native American Indians in this land? Who felt sorry for them? Nobody. Here it is, you had the Japanese that were incarcerated for what, like 2 years in this country, and they received reparations, $20,000 for each family under Reagan. You know, you had the Irish and the so-called Jews, which are not Jews, they're receiving reparations year after year after that BS that happened that never even happened. That so-called Holocaust and concentration camps. Where's the reparations for the so-called Negroes, the Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of? There have been none, because the elites of this society, they know who our people are, and that's why now you have these different Christian groups coming out trying to battle against what has already been pushed out there. Because the so-called Christians, years ago they stopped messing with us. You know, because years ago they were getting spanked through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But now they're making a comeback. Why? Because they're being paid to do that, to try to somehow control this word that's growing like wildfire.
Cause confusion.
Right, it causes confusion, but you can't, because the cat's already out the bag, as they say. That snowball already turned into a great avalanche of truth, and you're not going to be able to stop it. So the Lord said that what's going to happen is you're going to first be revealed by the words of the Lord, and afterwards you're going to be destroyed by the brightness of his coming. You got it.
Isaiah chapter 52 verse 3. For thus saith Yahweh, ye have sold yourselves for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money.
That's right. You shall be redeemed without money. That's why when you read the scriptures, these devils try to go into Deuteronomy 28:68 and say, no man shall buy you, meaning that you're going to be sold as slaves, but nobody's going to buy you. No, that's not what that means. The word, what the word means is you're not going to be able to be redeemed. And when you go back in the history, all the different so-called leaders that came up among the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, they were not able to get you out of the condition that you were in. Now, you're going to be redeemed by who? By Yahweh Shai when he comes back. Because that's who was going to redeem us. And then he say, I shall not meet thee as a man. So when he comes back, he's coming back as an angelic force. So it's going to be divine intervention that's going to deliver us from the situation that we're in today.
Yahweh Shai, he's not an ordinary man.
That's right.
You know, that's the Messiah. That's the Savior.
That's right.
But if no one was buying us during slavery, why did you have auction blocks?
That's right.
You know, why did the highest bidder get the slave that everybody wanted? You know, we were being sold. Well, we were sold to our enemies. They bought us. But like the apostle said, that was going into the word redeem, which means to buy back. You know, but you got it out.
On this Isaiah 26:18 again, I'm gonna read down. It said, we have been with child, we have been in pain, we have as it were brought forth wind, we have not wrought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen.
Right, because who are the inhabitants of the world? Esau and the other nations. And they haven't fallen yet. You know, and that's why our job is to come out here and to situations like this, bring it out. We go out on the highways and the byways, teach, you know, and keep on teaching, because the Lord said that his word doesn't go out void. So the more we preach the word, the more the Lord's word goes out, and then the Lord's going to have to make a move on his word, because he said that he's not a man that he should lie. Had he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
Verse 19, you want to get some first, Apostle?
Now you got it, brother.
Thy dead men shall live together, with my dead body they shall arise.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, man, you got to love that scripture. Who are the dead men? The Israelites.
That's right.
Their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. You know? So we're living with Yahweh Shai's dead body, because Yahweh Shai, he died for the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. So now we have life again. It tells you that in Ephesians, awake thou that sleepest, arise from the dead, and Yahweh Shai shall give thee light.
That's right.
You know?
It said, awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. It's a couple more verses. It said, come, my people.
Yeah, it come out of that confused state. You know, that dust. All right? Hey, this is the truth, man. You know, beginning with the apostles, what the apostle is bringing out right now, man. The devil's punch bowl. This the truth. You know, the Spirit brought us down here, man. You know? So, hey, man, this just gives us a guarantee that you devils, you about to pay, man. Because, hey, we wouldn't be able to do this. You know? This shows that you're losing your power. All right? You got it out.
Then the earth literally casting out her dead here, man. When it flood up here, wash up those skeletons, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Verse 20, come, my people, enter in thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee.
Right, that's talking about the chariots, when the chariots come back. Because that's the only deliverance that's going to be, is the elect are going to be beamed up into what the world calls the UFOs, which are, according to the Bible, are the chariots. Okay, that's going to be the deliverance, because there's going to be so much destruction here from this fire and from the earth rocking to and fro, that the only way to be delivered is to be out in so-called space, as they call it, outside of the ozone layer.
It say, hide thyself as if it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
Yeah, because America is going to take how long to be destroyed? 1 hour. And then within that 1 hour, there's going to be so much devastation that we're only going to be hidden for you know, those of us that are Lord's will part of the elect are going to be hidden for a moment from this destruction. And the only way to do that is to be up in the chariots, because the Lord told you, if you build in the mountains, or if you build in the earth, or if you build in the sea, you know, you're going to be taken. Go ahead.
For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth.
That's right.
For their iniquity.
That's right, for their iniquity. Because this what you see here, this was iniquity. No, this was the Lord said. The Lord said, "He that toucheth you, toucheth the apple of my eye." So what happened here did not fall on deaf ears, even though the soldiers that were here, they blocked out the cries of the people here. But the Lord heard all these cries, you know, and deliverance wasn't given to them back then because that was part of the judgment. But the deliverance is coming now, you know, because a spirit never dies. The flesh dies, but the spirit is always here because the spirit is a part of the Most High. So them same spirits that died here are back again today. You know?
It's just like when Cain killed Abel, man.
Yep.
His blood was crying out into the Lord,
That's
man.
right,
You know, his spirit was in the spirit world crying out, man.
That's right. And
You know?
it tells you in Revelation 6, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. You can finish that up.
You want me to finish up?
Yeah, go ahead.
It said, to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity, the earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain.
The word disclose means to open.
Yep.
All right. So it's being revealed. You know, it's not a secret anymore. All right. So a lot of people are going to be destroyed in that nuclear destruction, but also it's going to be revealed how many people Esau murdered. You know, how many Israelites he really killed. All right, because 20,000 in 1 year, that's only an estimate.
Right.
You know, for the population to increase up to 120,000, we know he killed more than 20,000 people. Yeah. You know, but that's that devil with that forked tongue. You know,
That's right.
but you gonna pay, man.
That's right. This is our Revelation chapter 6, verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High and for the testimony which they held. And you had instances in this society where brothers were actually killed and murdered for the word, and their spirits go up. And even these Israelites that died here, when their spirit went up to the Most High, this is what they said. And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be killed. So whenever the spirit goes up before the Father, it goes up before the throne of the Most High. And the Most High asks, even though he already knows, he asks him what went down. You know, and then they'll break it down to him, and then the Lord will tell you, okay, well, you're going to go back down there, and you're going to do such and such and such. You know, whatever it is that was given to that spirit to deal with when they come back on the earth. You got more up?
Yeah, this that word disclose in the Hebrew is galah, which means to uncover, to discover or show oneself. We'll say the earth shall disclose her blood. That's what's happening there, man. You know?
Discover. Because this was for a long time was hidden.
Yeah.
And now it's coming back out to haunt you.
Yeah.
You know, and then see this history was hidden. Like we said before, you don't have no monuments out here saying that this is the Devil's Punch Bowl where such and such happened, and these many people suffered this fate. You know, it's not out here, but the Lord knows. So just imagine how many of these Devil Punch Bowls are out there all throughout America. You know, that nobody knows about, that they've covered up, but the Lord knows.
If I can just make a point, which is made actually like a punch bowl.
Yep.
It has like a circular motion, and then if you notice anything about a punch bowl, it's deep.
Yep.
So if you pour something in, it's basically hard for the residue to come back up, such as the format of the land in this pit right here, man.
Yeah.
So even if the slaves tried to attempt to basically come up out of that punch bowl, they couldn't because it was walled in. So if we went down there today, we couldn't even climb up because of the hill-like structure, man.
Yeah. And you Edomites, you're the seed of Satan on planet Earth, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, because a devil's punch bowl, to even give it that title, you know, at a punch bowl, you think about punch, we would have punched. The blood, man.
Yeah.
You know, so the point is, it's gonna be a recompense for this, man. You know, because I'm gonna get the scripture after the brother. You know, the Lord judges the earth with balance.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about balance. It's about equity. For you to not get paid back for this, it's a false balance. You know.
This is a few more definitions. It say to uncover nakedness, or to make known, to show, to reveal, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. Scripture say what's that? Lamentations 4. You know, 4 and 22.
Matter of fact, you gotta get that.
Right.
To make known that Esau is the devil, man. To reveal all this chaos that you created on the earth, man.
All this bloodshed, you
Bloodshed.
shed it, man.
Yeah.
Because when the men died, all the Union soldiers did was threw them shelters down there, man.
Yeah.
You know, and told them, look, do whatever, man, You know.
Okay. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21 to 22. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked.
And that's what's happening right now. They were made drunken with what? We read it earlier, with the blood of the saints. You know, and with they believe their own hype. That's what the Lord said, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock. That's what you got. That's what's good.
Last verse. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
Yeah, this is going to be the last time.
He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
And that's what's happening right now. Your sins are being discovered. And the next part after that is what? The judgment. Because first you have to have discovery. Then after the discovery comes judgment. They even do that in the courts. You know, they bring you through the court system. What they do, they bring out the evidence. That's the discovery.
The motion,
you know,
of discovery.
Right, the motions and all that. And they, eventually, after everything is said and done, and it's proven that you're guilty, then they give you a sentence. You know, and your sentence is death, man. But before that is going to be hardcore slavery for 1,000 years.
This is Lamentations 1 and 21. They have heard that I sigh. There is none to comfort me.
Yep.
All mine enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it.
Yep.
Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me.
Right, they shall be like unto me, meaning trading places.
Right.
You know, the same thing that you see that we're going through, Esau and the other nations are going to go through it, but Esau is going to suffer double. And Esau is the so-called white man, you know, so you could understand.
Verse 22, let all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto me as thou hast done unto me.
Yeah, do unto them as thou hast done unto me.
Yeah.
You know, do unto our enemies as he did unto us.
Yeah.
You know, that's balance.
Yeah, but Christianity teaches you, per se, the white man's Christianity, that you're supposed to turn the other cheek.
Yep.
According to the doctrine of Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah, you're supposed to turn the other cheek when it's a brother, man.
Right.
Esau is our enemies, man. We are each other's opposition, man.
Yep.
So there's no turning the other cheek.
Yeah.
We're waiting right now because Yahweh Shah needs to come back, and then once the elect are redeemed, we're gonna it's gonna be war, execute war in this man.
What we're doing too now, like the apostle said, we reading Esau his sentence right now.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna turn to his physical judgment, man. But right now we're reading off everything that he done, man. Like the scripture said, the earth gonna disclose all the blood you shed, Esau.
Yeah.
So first you're gonna hear about your sentence, man, just like you do Jake, man.
Yeah.
Then you give Jake a double life sentence, Esau. Well, you've been on death row the whole time.
Right.
Ever since Cain, awaiting your sentence, you've been a fugitive and a vagabond. You know, until now, you being revealed, your sentence being read to you, until it's going to turn into your physical judgment, that 1,000-year slavery, total eradication.
That's right, bro.
You know?
A little more. Back in Lamentation 1 and 22.
Hey, the writing is on the wall.
That's right.
Done unto me for all my transgressions, for my sighs are many, and my heart is faint.
Yeah, because look at the condition we're in. It said you shall have no might. You're not going to be able to do anything about the situation. No man's going to be able to save you. And pretty much the so-called leaders of our nation, they're officiating the so-called white man's business, the same ones that put us in the condition that we're in today.
Yeah, they've been compromised.
Yeah. That's what the Lord said. The leaders of that people have caused them to err. You got it out.
Then going back to the scripture the brother read, your shepherds pity thee not, man. You know?
Right.
This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 24. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth.
Yeah. So, Esau, he responsible for putting everybody to death, man.
Right.
I mean, the Lord really cares about what you did to his people, the Israelites. But look at Esau, man. He's responsible for all these wars. You know, he's in everyone's business. The scriptures say how you don't keep it home. So this devil's everywhere. Like you brought out Cain. He's a fugitive and a vagabond, you know? You know, hey, it's a long list of crimes, man, for the Lord to say your sins, because, you know, the apostle bringing out the sentence, we're bringing out the sentence. Your sins reach unto the heavens.
That's right.
That's a long list of crimes, man. You know?
You even polluting the heavens, man. You know that they got space debris and all kind of stuff out there. So, man, on all levels, man, you're just set up for destruction. You're just like they called you in the movie Planet of the Apes, man. You're the devil's pawn, man. You know, all you do is destroy. You can't do anything else. That's what you were set up for.
Who's coming is after the working of Satan.
That's it.
Simone.
I got something else, which I go.
This is real quick. This is Psalms chapter 98 and verse 7 to 9. Let the sea roar and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. One of y'all can break it down.
Oh.
Let the floods clap their hands. Let the hills be joyful together.
Right, man. So this can goes into the storms that's happening, man. You know, because then the Lord say before His return, they're gonna be flood in diverse places, man. He control all that, man. You want to say something on that too, Al?
Yeah, reread that again, bro. Just
Okay.
It says, let me start at verse 6. Slack it, verse 5. Sing unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua with the harp and the voice of a song, with the trumpets and sound of cornet. Make a joyful noise before Yahweh the King.
And that's what we doing. We singing that new song, man. According to Revelation 14, man. You know, go ahead.
Let the sea roar and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Let the floods clap their hands. Let the hills be joyful together.
Right. No, and that seeking also mean people, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
And the planet Earth itself. You know, you destroying the Earth. The Earth itself is going to be happy.
once she's out of
Once you out of power,
out of rulership, man. Yeah.
Let me
And that goes to show you that the earth has a spirit, man. The reason why the earth does not yield fruit and vegetable is because it's cursed, man.
What it said, wisdom of Solomon, every living thing is basically the spirit of the Most High.
That's right.
Man.
That's right.
And then when it say, even with that word beast in Genesis, when it said he was more subtle than any beast of the field, you know, that goes into people, but it so goes into any living thing. If you look it up, it goes into the vegetation and everything, man. You know?
Yep. And then just to back you up, because hey, the reason why people was considered as beasts because they didn't have the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And so they was in there like that beast-like state, man.
Yeah, because Esau, he has a crafty nature like a snake. You know, because it wasn't an actual serpent, but he had snake-like tendencies.
That's right.
You know. All right. Reading verse 8 to 9 again. Let the floods clap their hands. Let the hills be joyful together before Yahweh, for he cometh to judge the earth.
Right. So after the judgment has been said, after Esau is in captivity, then basically the earth is going to start to rejoice again, man.
Yep.
Because he has to be purified by that nuclear fire, man. Why? Because of the chemtrails, you know, the weather manipulation techniques, so on and so forth, man.
Yep. For he cometh to judge the earth. With righteousness shall he judge the world, and the people with equity.
Via the law, statutes, and the commandments, man. So we're not going to be judged by Esau's penal codes, man. No, Yahweh is going to send his son back to bring judgment based on the scriptures, man.
Yeah, that's real justice.
That's
you know?
real justice.
You know, that's why they have the scales. You know, that's judgment. That's righteous judgment. It's supposed to be. You know.
Yep.
With Revelation,
you got it, brother.
Revelation 19, he judges and he wages war and judges in righteousness, man.
Right.
So when Yahweh come back, he gonna judge the earth in righteousness, and how is he gonna do that? And with war, man.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that there's a brother here. What's your name, brother?
Terry.
Terry. The brother, you know, he knows he's a Hebrew Israelite, and it's funny because today he just happened to be on a trip out here to look for the Devil's Punch Bowl, and the brother just informed me that the guy that was here before, which is the guide, he said that this really isn't the actual location of it, but he says a little further down. So Lord's will, what we're gonna do is once we finish here, we're gonna, when the guide comes back, Lord's will, we're gonna follow them down there and see if we can find the actual spot. But I mean, you know, we believe this was it because of the way it's set up. You know, so you never know, because 120,000 people to just fit in here. It probably was this whole region all the way back through here. We don't really know how far it extended.
Because that was something when I was looking it up too. I was hearing people say like it was more than one Devil's Punch Bowl. You know, it was right. And like you were saying, and then you know how Esau do it too. He'll try to deceive you like this ain't the spot.
But
why did he got this little witchcraft shit set up right here? And then this actually looked like the punch bowl.
It looked like, and it said all the articles we read.
It's a couple of more. It's a couple of more that look like this. I've been looking for it for 2 weeks, but I know my partner Jerry over there. It's like a black culture center.
Gotcha.
Young black brother, deep into the history. I just happened to be off. I'm a truck driver. Just happened to be off today.
Right.
and said, Jeremy, come on, let's go find this punch bowl.
Right. So
And
he knows
I
exactly what it is.
saw the fringes.
Right.
I had to stop then, man. These brothers out here, this the most high work.
Kind of.
And I just wanted to hear it first, but yeah, he's coming right now.
Right,
This
beautiful.
Jeremy.
Spirit that was
Yeah, man. Most High is in the mix, and you're
That's it.
right that these people. I was getting the names of the slave
Right.
masters' kids from him,
Wow.
because you got to call them out now.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
when you step up in Natchez, and just so happen I be in the right form with the scriptures, and you step up and you're gonna get your judgment.
That's it.
That's right.
Your judgment is here.
That's right.
Right.
And that's why these brothers are out here giving it right now.
Con.
Praise to
Because
Yahweh.
this all on the Most High
That's right.
today.
That's right.
And this
So-
is Jeremy right here. We was just
What's
on
going
the tour.
brother?
What's going on?
All right. Hey, so we're gonna do is we're gonna shut the live stream down, and we're gonna follow the brother if it's okay. And he says he's gonna lead us to the spot where it actually is. I mean, we believe this is part of it also.
It's a part of it. It all went from like where the river at all the way to.
See?
Okay.
Damn.
Okay,
So there's more.
But you know you had to have more land for
That's
20,000 to 120,000.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, right,
you had
right.
to have more than this little area.
Right.
Yeah, it's way more than that.
Right.
Hey, so with that, we hope you brothers have been edified, and Lord's will, we're gonna roll down the street, and when we find the spot, we're gonna set it off again through the Spirit. Shalom.
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 Hey, notice how we start teaching the ants chill down. The ants
Yeah,
start
yeah.
getting their
Man,
work.